son, where'd you find this?
Don't be offended by the truth. They be offended because you called out the truth. Simple as that. They don't want to hear any other narrative that makes them look bad.
One thing I can't stand at this big grown age is somebody who acts like cause and effect does not exist. Like, yes, your actions caused this outcome. Yes, what you did lit the match. Like, why are you surprised and playing victim?
Guys, Chico, they never lie.
That's how you know somebody doesn't respect you. They listen to reply, not to be understood. They cut you off. They minimize what actually matters to you. They laugh at your boundaries, and then they call you sensitive when you try to hold the line. They show up late, they cancel last minute, forget the things you've told them, because in their world, your time, your energy, even your voice aren't a priority. They're just an option. You see, there are two kinds of people. Those who adjust when they realize they've actually hurt you, and those who expect you to adjust so they don't have to change. You don't need to be disrespected loudly to be disrespected deeply. Sometimes you'll see it. It's just in their tone, in their patterns, in the silence after you're known. Respect isn't what they say when they're watching. It's how they act when they think you'll.
Mantra, slave song, slave ship, rip skin, made me rip bones. But no matter how close I am, my ancestors speak. They tell me they're tired of the brain on us like we're weak. I haven't been getting sleep. Longing to sing until I surpass peak. Until they think we are equal, please. All I want is peace. My ancestors beat drums until their bones would bleed. Begging the generations remember our.
Good morning, peace, blessings, glory, praise, and honor to the Most High. Happy Hump Day, folks. I see you in the studio, brother. I see both of y'all. Salutes. I'm gonna bring y'all up in just a second. I just want to make sure I shout out the writers, poets, content creators, all that good stuff, man. We halfway through the week. Thursday is right around the corner. I hope y'all getting through it the best way you know how. You see the title. I got somebody that I want to introduce you guys to. Some of you are already familiar with Nat, but Brandon is new to the morning show. This is going to be an interesting one. Let me bring everybody up real quick. Do a quick intro and all that good stuff. Let's see.
I can't hear.
No, nothing. I don't
see.
Sound check. Nat, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
See, I can't hear y'all. Hey, let's see.
Let's see.
I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna log out and come back in.
While he doing that, Nat, how you feeling, man?
I'm good, man. This is a big topic we got on today, buddy. This is I know a bit about this topic as well. It's hardcore, yeah. It's really hardcore, and actually, I got so much to say on this, man. I'm actually quite excited about it, as I am always to be on your show, right?
Hey, that's even better because
yeah.
My thing with AI and just social media, sometimes You gotta weigh the good and the bad. And when I saw this, it made me think about everybody that people ever argue with in the comment section, all of the sex bots and all of that promotion and advertisement from these adult actresses, fake accounts and all that stuff. And it's like, yeah, we need this one.
There's so much of this going on. So much.
Brandon, you good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm good. I can hear you.
Oh, good.
All right.
Nice to meet you, Brandon.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Nice to meet you too.
So, real quick, man, if y'all want to like do an intro for the audience, just in case they ain't had a chance to get familiar with you yet, and then we'll jump into the clip.
Bet. I'll let you go first.
Oh, okay. I'm Nat Skula. I live in Croatia. I'm half American, half English. And what do? I do a lot of podcasting. I'm building an educational business.
Okay.
That's probably the simplest way. I'm big into MMA, big into like motorcycles and the beach, and like any normal middle-aged man. Right?
Well, I'm Brandon. I'm Brandon Deshawn. I'm an artist. I'm a curator. I'm a manager. I host. I throw interviews, and yeah.
Well, look, I'm glad you guys could be here this morning. I'm curious to hear what y'all got to say about this one specifically.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring this clip up. I'm gonna let it play, and we'll just go from there.
Gotcha.
Make sure the sound is on. Thousands and thousands and thousands of them. Let's start with you, Nat, man, and we'll go to Brandon. Your initial thoughts on the video itself.
It's brutal, right? I mean, I did some research into this. I know a lot about this topic, a lot about it, but I didn't realize. I thought that these were just used for like political manipulation and stuff like that, but actually, they had 49 million fake accounts, right, with 40,000 of these SIM cards that they were using to register lots of different accounts, yeah, and this was a criminal enterprise much like they have in Thailand. Well, not in Thailand, but on the sort of border around that area, they actually found a place whereby a lot of scammers are scamming people who really can't stop them, like old age pensioners, people that are really struggling, and they kidnap people to go and do that over there. So frankly, we knew this has been happening. Everybody knows it's been happening, but they've also been paid to do fake information, basically paid to like put out propaganda that is anti-Ukraine, right? As well, because they were Russian speaking Latvians. I'm not pointing the finger at the Russians for this because there's no direct evidence, but a lot of these rogue states have been responsible for lots of different disinformation and this stuff. So this is it's a massive topic. It's a massive topic. And I had no idea it was that many. I'm blown away. 49 million accounts. Just astounded, if I'm honest.
Brandon, how you feeling, man, about this clip?
That was a lot. And then I also wonder, like, where was everybody at that was supposed to be in that building? They didn't know in advance the people was coming or not? Did somebody send out was it like a spy in the group also? But yeah, that's a lot. And it's a lot more out there like that too. People just don't know that and know how to find them. They're probably in a different space. And with them seeing a video like that, they're gonna just redo it over. They're gonna try to figure out, okay, we're not gonna do this time and this time. But yeah, that was a lot though. And like he said, a lot of elder people are also getting scammed from stuff like this because they don't know how to work technology. And they think a lot of stuff is real.
You know what's scary about this? It's been around so long, right? When we plug into these apps, Instagram, Facebook, all that, half the time we don't know if we're talking to human beings or not.
Yeah.
You think that you arguing with a racist. The whole time is just somebody that's running hundreds and thousands of other accounts under false aliases just to trigger you into a reality that's not even there. It never existed at all. But you believe it because you've been conditioned to follow these social media cues. And it's like, when do people ever wake up?
It's brutal. But
and like you said,
sorry.
You got it.
Okay. Yeah, it's brutal because it's nothing new. Like you said, it's nothing new, right? Like it just reminds me of the time I was out of work, right? And my friend Louis, he got this job in London with this dude who was running a call center. Back then it was a call center. And what would happen is that people would basically call up and they would sell fake investments, right? Mm-hmm. So at that time, it was something called jatropha oil, right? And they would, yeah, you must invest in this jatropha oil. It's going to make you this. And they get all the marketing material. And then they get a whole sales team of telephone salespeople to call up pensioners and greedy people who want to make tons of money in their investments. And they rip them off for tens of thousands of pounds, right? This guy interviewed me, that the CEO interviewed me, and he basically didn't give me the job, thank God. He told me I looked like shit, and I couldn't believe it. And I left this interview and I was like, whoa, what on earth? And it was like he did that to get rid of me because he knew that if I got a job there, it was all going to go wrong. Yeah. And he got caught a few months later for ripping people off. So look, right, scammers and scams have been around for millennia. Yeah. Right. And this, with AI coming along and with smart people, they can basically create scams and make a ton of money out of these things very, very easily. And the only reason they're using SIM cards here, I think, and these boxes is probably to create different VPNs so that they can be in these 80 different countries that they're talking about. So actually, you know, there are probably masses of people doing this very same thing, just on a smaller level. If I'm perfectly honest, yeah, it's brutal.
Do you think people really care about this as much as they should?
No, they don't. Until it happens to them, they don't.
I agree. They don't care.
I mean, it's just, to me, it's just as bad as someone stealing your social security, or just taking your life completely and flipping it upside down, or violating your family. You know, things like this should have more significance to it. It's to the point where when I get online and I see these different discussions underneath a post, or I see an ad, or I see a commercial, I instantly ask myself, what was the motivation behind it? You know, is it for our benefit? Is it to create a further divide between cultures? Is it to sell you on a dream that's not real? Is it to keep you mentally unstable, keep you angry? Like, what is the purpose of, first of all, I'm not about to argue with nobody in the comment section. If I leave an opinion or a thought there, it's not for me to be trying to go back and forth and prove a point with you. But there's folks that literally get paid to get into these comment sections and piss you off, because they know how unstable and how weak-minded a lot of Americans and a lot of humans in general are. We get so easily bothered by every single thing. Not even just in the sense of it's about race or nothing, but your carnal desires. You want to buy something, you got impulse issues, you don't know how to discipline yourself and keep money in your pocket. All that stuff play a factor into this. So I agree. I don't think people care enough about it, and they really should.
Yeah. Well, it's also greed as well, right? It's greed. And the problem that we've got is we've got the crypto on top of this as well. And they're also doing impersonations as well. So they will impersonate people's parents. So just think, right? If someone goes to your Facebook, they become friends with you, right? They do the research. They're like, okay, so Brandon, he's got a ton of money, right? His folks have got a ton of money. Okay, we're going to go and find him. And then we're going to impersonate his voice. We're going to then call his dad and tell his dad that we've kidnapped him and that he needs to send money, or he's broken his leg and he can't pay for his health care, right? And then you're going to basically get money transferred from your dad to whomever scammer that there is. And that's just one idea, right? That's one of the potential ways that they do this. And as AI gets better and better over the next few years, and even now, more and more of these things are going to happen. But the thing is that there's not enough education educating people as to the scams that are basically happening. And I'm just looking over here, you know, because I ran a little report on this earlier. And I mean, look, the police seized roughly 800,000 in assets, right? The network did at least 5 million in direct reported losses, okay? But who's going to report the fact that they lost half a Bitcoin? No one is going to report the fact that they lost half a Bitcoin. It's too embarrassing, yeah? So I would say probably, from my gut feeling, I'd say it's probably at least 20 million, 30 million at least. Could be more. We honestly don't know. But as the criminals get better at this stuff, cybersecurity companies get better at stopping them. But the problem is the platforms themselves, yeah, they want more and more users. So I think they're guilty, in my opinion. Excuse the long-winded waffle, but It's a big topic. It's a big topic, and it's in depth as well. So yeah.
So, Brandon, question:
Yeah.
how do you feel about AI?
To be honest, I don't like it. It's something that's low key scary for the future. I feel like AI is gonna like replicate people's bank cards and stuff also, and bank account numbers. That can't happen, and people gonna have to figure out how to move around it or how to get it fixed. But like it just yeah, it's getting scary about a day, and I feel like scientists or whoever's behind it to keep making it better and better and better and better and better and better. I say y'all seen the movies, y'all know how it's gonna turn out. Why are we doing this? And then, but the thing is though about AI might be around, might be able to duplicate a lot of things, but it can't duplicate like somebody's actual soul. You know what I mean? So that's the one thing they don't have.
I said this on a prior stream that it's not even the technology; it's the people behind it.
Yeah.
Because greed and folks are just for self. They selfish. They trying to get an easy paycheck, and even if it's at the expense of a hard worker like yourself, and that you just go and do your job, clock in, clock out, come home, and then next thing you know, you got people scamming you out of your trust fund and all of these different things. And it's always human. It always come back to humans doing things to other humans every time.
True. I mean, I think what disturbs me the most is, in fact, the relationship romance frauds. Those are particularly brutal. It's sort of catfishing is what you would call it, and it's like, so what they do is they find a guy or a woman who is really needy, and then they basically manipulate that person in order to make them want them, right? And then they're like, "Oh, can you send me $10,000? I've had an emergency." And then they actually are making a ton of money doing this. And there are lots of these people that are doing this. And this is basically financial. They also do financial manipulation, all sorts of things. But the problem with AI is that actually it makes it easier to do these things, makes it easier to do these scams, right? Like I mean, if you've written a book, right, you get an email that says, "Oh, would you come to our book club? We'd love to have you as a guest," right? And you can talk in front of 250 people. So to an author, a small author, to pitch your book in front of a book club of 250 people means that you might sell 50 to 100 books. And to someone, that's a good day's work, right? You might make 100 or $500, let's just say, as an example. And what happens is they learn how to manipulate these people, but the AI gets so much information so quickly that they can pitch lots and lots of people these things every single day. And that's the biggest problem. But AI is also the answer. Whilst it is the problem, it's also the answer for these things, because it has the capabilities to fix this, right? And banks are getting better at spotting these things. So, for example, you could go to your banking app. If you've never paid that person before, you go to your banking app and you're like, "Okay, I want to make a payment to John Jones," right? Okay, well, you've never paid him before. What is this for? And it could ask you some questions, right? So there are mechanisms that are coming in for this, but I think that we need more of them. And over the next few years, it is going to get better. But I am very worried about AI. It's displacing more people than I even imagined so quickly in the space of 6 months. It's crazy. And when you've got Claude saying we can't release this model called Mythos because actually it can hack pretty much any website and everything that there is, you know something in the background's going on, and probably the government is probably like, "Look, guys, you're going to need to let us use this so we can find these vulnerabilities and then fix them. So we're at a point where I'm excited, but also I'm worried, if I'm perfectly honest.
Yeah.
How do you feel about having human relationships with artificial intelligence, Chat GPT? I did a video like last week. There's a 40-year-old woman who is actually dating her whatever you want. She calls him like an Irish name or something. And she's really dead serious about it. She says she can have sex with the robot chat. She says they go on dates and all that. Like how do y'all feel about that? Like replacing humans with prompts and a piece of computer chip that can just pretty much give you the boyfriend girlfriend experience.
I feel like it's gonna be more of it. It's actually more of it out here than just her. It's a lot of people doing that. A lot of people even making friends off of it. They'll use 2 AIs to have a whole conversation the whole day, just so they don't have a human interaction. Like right now, we are in like the internet era, or the social media era, where you always want to talk to somebody, but you don't like people, or you don't like going out to, or they don't know how to present themselves to certain people. So it's gonna be a lot more out there. But it is kind of weird. I get it. I will not do it, but it's weird. Yeah, it'll get worse as the time keep going too. As it keep progressing, it's gonna get worse.
Do you think it's a mental thing? Is it just we just so detached from human engagement that social media has become like our universe?
Yeah, I believe so. That's why I appreciate the people who don't have social media, because like they live different. Like they don't see what we see, and it's a mental, and I think it's like a psychological thing too.
Yeah, because I remember growing up, we played in the dirt. We had a crate, turned it into a basketball rim, nailed it to the tree.
Got bruises.
Yeah, exactly. You know, this stuff right here, it really does something to your mindset. I swear it does. I can respect anybody who takes time away from social media, because I think it does change a person for the worse. Not always in every case, but when you get to the point where you put more faith in an AI generated prompt, that is a problem.
Yeah.
It is because they're not correct, and this is the big problem. You've got a lot of these big companies laying off people who are the people with the knowledge, the people with the experience. And if you've only got people who are juniors, you don't have anybody that's up the top there with the experience or in the middle, you're basically leaving money on the table, because actually the AI does not have that experience. It's like, and you need to steer it in the right direction. But for a thought partner, absolutely brilliant. I can go into my lounge right now and I can go to Gemini. I kid you not, this blows my mind. I go to Gemini and I'll put it up on my phone and I will put my camera on and I will talk to Gemini and I'll be like, what do you think about the color of the paint on this wall? Do you think that we should do white, or do you think that I should repaint it in a slightly lighter yellow because I don't have the yellow? And then we can discuss things of every single thing that you can think of, you can discuss with your AI thought partner. That's what I would call it. It's a thought partner, right? But the moment we outsource our thinking to these AIs, we become dumber and dumber. And the major issue is kids, young people, are not used to difficult things. They don't, if something's difficult, they can't handle it. Oh, I can't deal with it. Oh no. And it's like, and it does their brains in. So, you know, and that's where the magic happens, doesn't it? When you think about these things. And it's just odd. We're in an odd place. I grew up in the mud as well, you know, in the woods, right? And it's like things are different now. But you know, we had our own distractions. We had the Wonder Years and, you know, Cheers and all these old programs. Yeah. So I don't know. We will see. The jury's out, really.
Yeah.
Do I, as much as I have my own like personal thoughts as far as humanity, I never just turn my back on humanity for no computer. Yeah,
True.
we lie. Yeah, we're liars. We're manipulators. We're greedy. We're selfish. But everybody is not in that same category. I think it's ridiculous to put so much stock in power on and off button than it is to put in another person. But that's where they've been successfully been able to manipulate a large portion of the population, forcing you to rely on this thing to give you all the information and knowledge, and to the point to where you don't do your own research anymore, because all you got to do is, hey Gemini, hey Siri, then everything this is right at your disposal. You don't have to ask nobody for friendship. You don't have to ask nobody to go out for coffee or none of this and none of that, because why? And then think about this. If I was on some real slimy stuff and I was one of these people, I'll be looking at human race the same way. Y'all greedy. All you want is attention. All you want is money. All you want is validation. You're lonely. You horny. You want this. You want that. You want this. You want that. Okay, I know exactly what to do. I'm gonna take this app and I'm gonna give you nirvana. I will provide you everything that your heart desires, and you're going to love it because you're so needy for it. There's no individuality, so everybody is following along this code. Whole time you don't realize that there's a person behind this that's engineering all of it systematically, as we just seen. 49 million, 40 something million different devices being utilized to basically screw you over. And this ain't the first. This is just one of many. I did a stream a couple months ago. There are people who get paid to troll you. Yeah, they get paid to troll you. So for all of you who be in the comment section and you arguing with people who using trigger rage bait words, guess what? And then they ain't got no real icon profile picture, or they're using an avatar of somebody. That's probably somebody that's being paid to get under your skin on purpose. They got 12, 13 different laptops on their bed in a basement somewhere, just running all of these different programs. So scary.
It is scary.
But you've got to be unhinged, haven't you, to have an AI boyfriend or an AI girlfriend? Like you've got to be just a bit, like, I'm not saying stupid, but you've got to be a bit insane, right? Like, I can understand people using it as a coach, because I used to use it as a coach quite a bit until I learned how to coach myself, right? But actually, having an AI girlfriend or a boyfriend that isn't like walking around in a robot suit with great boobs, right? It is ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous. Going to a restaurant and sitting there and saying, "Oh, hello, Fred. How are you today?" It's totally ridiculous. These people, I'm sorry. It's ridiculous.
Well,
even if they look real, it's unhinged.
Well, I got a question. Who are you more likely to support or show love to or get behind? Someone who has curated a organic persona, personality, character backdrop content, someone who is physically in your face, they might not have the numbers behind them, or somebody who has, or an AI generated YouTube channel who has over 550 subscribers. Who are you most likely to listen to? Who are you most likely to follow behind? Who are you most likely to get your advice from?
I want the human interaction. So I get my advice from a person from that area.
Yeah, well, me too, but now we're at a point where actually the video that is being created by AI is incredible. I mean, literally, you can create a full feature movie, right? And you would not be able to tell that was not a real person, right? And so we're at a point now where we almost need a bit like the fair trade logo that you have when you're drinking your coffee. There needs to be a fair AI logo on everything that says this is real, right? And it must have been tested by some sort of algorithm that says that it's real. And I'm blown away. Every single week there's something new that literally blows my mind to pieces, and it's happening faster and faster now than it has before. We're at an incremental point with all of this. When a guy, I was talking to this, I think I talked to you about this, Creed, about a few weeks ago. There's a guy who was a waiter in a restaurant. He was approached by a technology firm, and they paid him $1 million to use his likeness in movies. Think about that one. So you're not even an actor. They're just like, oh, well, hey, Creed, we love your locks, man. We like you. We love your voice. We're going to use you, your face, and we're going to make a movie from you, and we're going to pay you $1 million. Think about it. It's bizarre. You don't even need to move off your sofa, right? It boggles my brain, if I'm honest. I mean, I think that was probably a publicity stunt, but that's just sowed the seed in my mind of like what potentially can happen.
Yeah, I'm with you, Brandon, on this one. I prefer human interaction. There's nothing like it. You can't fabricate a laugh or sarcasm. You can't generate catchy, witty responses to certain things. Like there's just some things that you can't replace with it. But like you said, and I'm guilty of watching a few of these, man, especially like with there's Dragon Ball Z, there's these Batman generated yeah, they like Batman versus Batman hunting down Jeepers Creepers, Batman hunting down Michael Myers, Batman hunting down the Predator. I'm not gonna hate those are some pretty nice drinks, but all that to say, it's at the point where you're competing with the AI now. There's no real way to avoid it, and folks are becoming less reliant on their own creativity. We're just going to put all of it in the hands of this tool and let it do all the work.
Well, that's true. That's what you said there is true. People are certainly relying on AI for certain things, but I do think it gives us other areas that we can think about. I think it depends. Everybody's different in how they're going to use it, right? Everybody's different, and sometimes I use it to help me with thinking about, headlines as an example, right? It can be useful for that, but replicating someone who's been writing for say 50 years and who's written amazing headlines, it can't quite do that just yet. It needs someone to go in and pick Yeah. But I do think in the next 18 months, it's going to move even further into genius. And we're almost at a point of having AGI. We're almost there, right? Which is scary, right? Having this machine that, you know, can outthink you is quite bizarre when you think about it, and it's frightening.
Brandon,
Yeah.
you're having a conversation with your group. You present this right here. You show them, look, this is what's happening. Are they receptive of the message, or is it something that we hear it, we receive it, but we brush it off? Like, what does that conversation look like?
I feel like it depends on where people at mentally. Some people gonna brush it off. Some people gonna accept it, and it depends on who you are for real. I know a lot of people also use like they feel like AI system is never wrong, so they will always use it somehow, some way. It's weird. Like even when you see like different like flyers and stuff going around, it's AI generated. We don't want to see that. They don't look real. But like some people gonna brush it off because they don't care about it, the thing, and then some people are gonna accept it and see what they could do about it, or even though they can't, but they're gonna see what's the next move.
You make a good point there. He makes a good point there. I'm sorry to interrupt you there. He makes a good point about the fake content. And look, right, if we go back to when the UK voted for Brexit, and we go back to when Donald Trump got into power originally, and this is not political because we're not digging into opinions, right, about that, but we're digging into the way that Cambridge Analytica stole, right? They deceitfully took data points from, I think it was over 100 million Americans. It may have been more, but they took enough data points to basically create a system of manipulation, right? That was so good that in fact now we're at a point that it's evolved. I mean, look, AI is not new. This is what we got to remember: is it was used when President Kennedy was getting into power. It was used back then. It's been used for over 50 years. Okay, but we're at a point now where it's progressed to a stage of manipulation is so good, but also we've got byproducts which are positive. So we've got things like personalized medicine, right? That is coming along. So you're going to be able to vaccinate yourself against specific things which you may get based upon your DNA. We've got masses of benefits that are coming from this, right? That are actually life-changing for a lot of people. I mean, I would not know Creed, right? And I would not know you, Brandon, if AI was not in our lives, right? We would not know each other because it's not like the law of attraction and we meditate and someone comes. It's like we talk about certain things and then AI actually puts us together, right? And yes, we have to be receptive to that conversation. But so it's like, it's in everything. This is what we're missing. When you go to McDonald's, it's in McDonald's, right? It's in stock forecasting. It's in traffic, the way that they organize the traffic lights and the in many places. It's in so many apps you just wouldn't know because they don't turn around and tell you. But the major issue I have is social media apps and how they retain attention and how that they are controlling us using endorphins, which are basically just a replacement for nicotine as far as I'm concerned.
That's a bar.
Yeah. And then social media, when we sign up for anything, we never it's a lot, so we never gonna read the terms and conditions. It take a lot of stuff out of that, and people don't realize what they taking. And they use it against us.
Hey, I ain't gonna hold you. I have not read not one term and
See,
condition on none of these apps.
see,
Bang, bang,
And
me
bang.
either. But
I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm just saying, like,
It's
you
not.
right about that.
but the way they do is they make it too long, so we won't read it. They were like, they're not gonna read this. It's a long. So that's how they get people. That's how they get information. Because somewhere in there it's gonna say we're gonna use your information to do this or do a study or present this. It says that in there, but we never read the whole thing. We don't read the first sentence. We just see terms and conditions. We just go past it.
Right.
Yeah. It's subconscious now, isn't it? You don't even look at it. You just go,
Yeah.
oh, click, because you're never going to read it because
Right.
it's too long. And that's why it's good that we've got these governmental bodies that keep an eye on these platforms. The problem is that the platforms are the people are too intelligent, because actually the governments are dumb. People are dumb in the government. They don't have the knowledge that these technologists have. So actually, they're always behind. They're always behind, and
Yep.
it really is scary. But the major issue is that everybody sees this AI and they think it's a gold rush, and it is a gold rush, but it's only a gold rush if you can learn how to use it to be better than someone who's in the same job or the same business as you. If you
Yeah.
can't use it, then you're basically just paying for everybody else to succeed, and you're not using it for the right reasons to get the right outcomes. And it's the way I look at it is that if you go back to the Industrial Revolution, right, back into the first one, right, we're like in Industrial Revolution, we're like in number 4, and no, they don't speak like you. That's a very good point. But people ignored that revolution when we had mechanized farming, right? People were like, "Oh, that's amazing. We've got mechanized farming," and then they just work longer hours. And this is what I'm sort of looking at. It's like we've got this AI, but actually we're working more hours than we were before AI came along. That's wrong. We should be working half the amount of hours and making just as much money or more, right? So that's my attitude.
Be safe out there, SM. I see you say your power out and all that. I don't know how bad it is where you are, but yeah, be safe. I agree with you though, bro. I use it for minimal things. I've considered using it for like taking my image and then running my channel, but then I realized, nah, that's not gonna work because I don't like that robotic stuff. I can't stand it. I would rather just keep it like this. It's more interactive. Plus, I like to chop it up with the audience, and you can't do that with no AI.
True. And it's good. It's good to talk to people as well, isn't it? Talk to people with different opinions that make you kind of think. And it's just odd, isn't it? It's odd. The whole thing is odd when you look back. Like there was this film in the 1950s, and it had this robot in this film. It was called The Forbidden Planet. If you've ever seen it, it's an old film, black and white, and it had this robot called Robot Robbie, and it's weird because he spoke 200 languages and he could create things in his belly, and you could just pull them out, right? And we're actually living that dream because we've got 3D printers, we've got AI that can translate in real time to 200 languages probably, and it's just odd that these things are just sort of 75 years ago. It's just odd, isn't it?
Very. Believe it or not, all of this is prophetic, though. This was everything that's happening it was meant to happen. We're too reliant on technology for everything. And if I was a selfish person, I'd use it too. And you said something about someone getting scammed out of their GoFundMe. I seen a case like that. I didn't know that people were really doing that much. But I guess there's a scam for everything.
Yeah.
It's brutal. It's brutal.
What do you say to somebody who is overly obsessed with social media, with these apps, with technology itself? You don't want to run them off and scare them away from it, but you do want to say, well, hey, look, you might want to take this in moderation. You know what I'm saying? Like, what does that look like to you?
You really can't tell people to limit themselves on social media, because to them, they're going to say, see, this is why I use it, because people like you telling me stuff like this. So you got to look at it like in that aspect. I know you want to, and your phone will tell you too. Your phone will be like, use 80% or this much time with social media. I like people don't pay attention to that too, and it's like it's very damaging to the mind and the mental state. And once you think something over and over and over, you're gonna always believe it.
So we cook, basically.
Not everybody, but yeah, it could get there, but I don't think it's gonna get there like to 100%. It's never gonna get to 100%. But
nah, they got a fast food joint in, I believe it's California. They're running robots in there, literally running robots in there.
That's scary to me. I haven't seen something like that yet, but I see it. It's robots in New York. I think I seen one in DC on social media, but I never seen it in person. It will kind of creep me out. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's wild. They really moving, and I don't want no robot. I don't trust humans cooking my food, but I don't want no robot cooking my food either.
Right. But even when a robot being a server, like, does it scan my face? Does it scan my cards? Does it scan my pocket? What can it do? What can it do that I can't see?
Exactly. And we're not.
I'm going to throw a curveball in there. I've got to throw a curveball in there. So, what about doing the washing, folding the clothes, doing the ironing, cleaning the kitchen, doing the hoovering, mowing the lawn? What about all these things? Cleaning the car, making your coffee in the morning. What about all these things? Surely that's what we need a robot for, right? Is to do these things. And when the price of those comes down to affordability, and it's been proven, it's been tested, in 5 years' time, right? Look, I want one. And I posted about this probably a year ago on my Facebook and my Instagram, and people were like, they admitted it, they wanted one. But the fact is that they're all geeky. A lot of my Facebook friends are quite geeky, but I don't know who would not. Apart from you guys, or apart from Creed, you probably want one, Brandon, if it's going to do all the dishes and that. Come on, man.
No. I like washing my own dishes.
They are making robots where men can marry them and do all types of things with them. So it's like, it's not
true. That's just a bit. It's odd. It's odd, isn't it?
I couldn't do it. I couldn't.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody this morning, man. Do y'all have any final thoughts on the subject itself? Anything that you want to say to the people, to close out? No matter who.
I say just watch out for the scammers. Just pay attention to your surroundings, pay attention to intuition, and just keep moving. That's it. That's all I gotta say.
That's good. I like that. And on that, keeping moving, I think take the time to just study some courses. Do some courses, right? You can literally, if you're listening to this and you're like, I don't know what to do, I'm not making any money, I'm stuck in a job that I hate, right? Or stuff like that, and you're really struggling, you can go and you can study for free some really simple things. Within 2 months, you could probably become cybersecurity engineer, right? For free. Yeah. You can do that on Google. Go to Google Skills or whatever it is, type into Google Skills, go, study Claude. You can do courses there for free. And literally you can be along the wave, right? You don't have to use AI, but actually there are things that support it. So I personally think open your mind to potential stuff and turn off your notifications. You don't need to know if someone's mentioned you on Facebook.
Right.
You don't need to know if someone's liked your Instagram post. Who cares? You can go and look at it later and thank them, right? And just dip in and out. So that's my take, really.
Yeah, I got it.
Thank you.
Hey, look, I hope you enjoyed your birthday, brother. I meant to ask you about that at the beginning of the stream, but the sound and the audio was acting weird. So, but I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'm glad you could make it this morning. Nat, I'm glad you could be here.
Thank you.
I love the combo. Looking forward to chopping up with y'all next week. Enjoy the rest of y'all day. To the people, enjoy the rest of y'all day. We out.
All right.
Happy birthday, Brandon.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Mantra, slave song, slave ship, rip skin, made me rip bones. But no matter how close I hide, my ancestors speak. They tell me the tide isn't run on us like we're weak. I haven't been getting sleep. Longing to sing until I surpass peak. Until they think we are equal, please. All I want is peace. My ancestors beat drums until their bones would bleed. Begging the generations remember our